You turn it by hand?
By hand.
Unbelievable, isn't it? Eh?
Just to remind everybody, as part of our mission to fill in the £66,000 gap.
I mean, there's a lot of people say you'll never do it.
But there's always doubting Thomas.
There it is, yes.
I think they're wonderful, the fact they've actually managed to hold it together and really get it off the ground. And I mean, it's proof today when you look at the size of it and you think, yes, this is going to work.
I've seen it from nothing to how it is today, and it is absolutely, you know, first class.
Say cheese, everybody! Is everyone ready?
January 2008. 40 years after British Railways did away with mainline steam, Tornado waits silently and unspoiled, ready for a big day. If all goes to plan, it should make steam.
Once we get it over the top, we'll have trouble stopping it then.
But first, 100 tons of engine has to be manhandled into place.
I liken it somewhat to sitting in the hospital while your wife's having a baby. It's this sense of anticipation. You know what you're hoping to achieve, but you're never so totally certain till it's happened.
Malcolm Crawley, a former Doncaster apprentice who worked on the original A1s, has the honour of throwing in the first lumps of coal. Then, Arthur Peppercorn's widow Dorothy, now in her 90s, carries everyone's prayers on a lighted splint.
There we go.
Yes, I'm fine now. No, it's, I'm very proud. It was my husband. He wouldn't have believed it anyway. He wouldn't believe anything like this could happen.
That's it.
I'm just, you know, choked. Absolutely choked. It's just, she's alive now. First time. Yeah, and we're nearly there.
But the project will only succeed if Tornado passes this first big test. Over the next 2 days, the engine will be warmed up slowly, steadily, raising the pressure in the boiler. "48 hours later, it's breakfast.
How is it?
At Gasmark 25.
There you go.
Fantastic. 17 years we've been waiting for that sandwich.
The serious business of the day is in the hands of professional boiler inspector John Glaze. If he isn't happy with the steam test, it will be a big setback.
The purpose is to take the boiler up to its maximum working pressure, indeed slightly above, to check that it's not leaking anywhere, that it is performing as expected, and to give us an opportunity to set the safety valves up to the correct release pressure. And then one has just gone off there, as you can hear in the background.
Up on the makeshift footplate, it's a moment for celebration. The boiler reaches full working pressure, 250 pounds per square inch.
Blowdown starting!
Just making sure there's any leaks which are going to be detrimental to the working of the boiler. This is streets ahead compared to a heritage locomotive. With a heritage locomotive, you're dealing with something that's 50 or 60 years old, and you always get weeps and dribbles. But on this, we don't have anything.
In fact, the boiler is making steam so efficiently, the water supply at Tornado's shed has almost run out. If it runs dry, the boiler could be seriously damaged.
We've got a problem. I can't get any more water. I don't know where it's gone to. I think we may have emptied the tank.
That isn't a good thing. Where are we filling it up? When are you filling it up? See what we do. I want some more water in this.
Well, it fills up automatically, but it's got our water supply on it, so it's not quickly is the answer. So I think you need to damp that fairly quickly. This is a request for water, but it's a very urgent one. No, there is no fire as such. We need water in emergency.
Just try it nice and slowly, because it's continuous flow. It's fluctuating now, isn't it? It's got constant head.
And when you need water in a hurry, there's only one place to turn.
Bit more!
Well, I didn't think it was going to be this size. I've seen them doing some work, obviously, with being in the area, but I was expecting Loco 1, to tell you the truth, not something the size of the Mallard.
We had to ask the fire brigade to come in and provide enough water to finish the tests. One of the local papers misconstrued and put a big headline up to the effect that fire brigade called to prevent boiler explosion. This was not the case.
I'll take some copies. Just whoa.
Steam in our time.
Yeah, steam in our time, yeah. There you go, steam in our time. Tornado!
It's a huge step, but David and his engineers have little time to rest. There's no guarantee yet that Tornado will actually move.
In terms of, the dimensions and everything like that, if that's a lot of what you're looking for.
Still, news about Britain's steam revival has caught the media's attention.
The cost is in excess of £3 million, about 175,000 man-hours.
Passengers are reminded that smoking is not permitted anywhere on this station.
There's more than metalwork to manage, though. The team are on their way to York for a meeting with the National Railway Museum. The strain of completing the project is beginning to show. A member of the Trust's board has stepped down.
The administration for this project has always been something that's burnt people out. I did say that having received the resignation, I actually didn't think it was appropriate to come along to the meeting. And we need to get the locomotive in service and earning. It's the impact of that on that, on that, on that. And that over here, oh dear, we forgot about that bit, they forgot to take that bit off, to put that bit on, to get this bit on.
Tornado is destined to be painted and then displayed at the museum, once it's finished.
The plea I would make is that we have a minute-to-minute update of any of these changes.
That's what we're now going to do.
Because, I got that kind of vibe about a month ago.
And you didn't know.
But nobody's told me.
Well, the reason we've not, the reason we've, the reason why, no, it does though, because the reason we've not told you is what we didn't want to do was to talk about one date moving when what we couldn't do was talk about the rest. In fact, we've got.
That's fine, except that bear in mind that we need to be putting out publicity about what's on offer. People ask us what's on offer and what isn't. So we need to be up to date.
The key thing is, just as you can't with Flying Scotsman, and I will drag that back, but as you can't, is the fact that we are a damn sight more on time than 99% of other projects have been.
There was this great pressure just to get it finished. In retrospect, we were a bit optimistic in some of our estimates.
Finally, at the end of July 2008, 42 years since the peppercorn A1s were scrapped, and 18 years after 6 men sat down in a pub to consider building one, Tornado stands ready. Just one question remains. Does it work?
She's beautiful. She's just absolutely, I think, more tears in everybody's eyes that's ever worked on it. All we've got to do is open the regulator and move her under her own steam now.
It's literally minutes now until proof of all that hard work. So many people, and gonna work. Well, it's working.
There goes nothing anyway.
Yes! Well done, David.
That is going backwards. Now, dead slow over this next bit, please.
Downhill this way, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it might be slightly, and then it should go up at the end.
Yes!
Magic.
It works.
Now we need to see if it goes the other way.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's all right, go then.
Yeah, we're not going to win much going backwards.
Words can't really say anything for it, really, can they? It's just fantastic.
It's meant to be a private performance, but the word is soon out. No one has seen a brand new British mainline steam engine since Evening Star was finished back in 1960. Tornado's on the move, heading for the Great Central, a heritage railway in Leicestershire. Suddenly, the Darlington Works, where blood, sweat and occasional tears were poured into it, are empty. It's the end of the beginning.
I'd like it to be seen as a monumental achievement, and I would love it if doing something as extreme as building an engine like that, brand new, stops people think, oh, they must stop every now and again for their thermos and tick off a few bits in the book. Well, yeah, a very big book needs ticking off, but I think they have real coffee down at the A1 project. I don't think they use thermoses at all.
We'll get used to this in a minute. You've never done this so much in one day.
Tornado performs faultlessly through weeks of official tests, which means, after years of patience, the people who paid for it are the first in line for a ticket to ride.
This train 11:55 service, Tornado Special. All aboard, please. All aboard.
There's everything, there's the smell and there's the sound, and I think it's just fantastic, the achievement that they've done.
When you see the engine out there, you can see all the brilliant workmanship that unfortunately this country has done away with over the past few years and that proves what we are able to do.
I'd love to be on the footplate, of course, but sat in this carriage knowing that it's up there in front pulling away is quite an amazing experience.
And the man in the driver's seat is Graham. Now in his mid-30s, he was only 16 when this extraordinary idea was hatched.
It was just tremendous seeing Tornado doing what she was designed to do, pulling a first passenger train, and more importantly, watching the faces of all those people. And you could just see there were so many delighted, happy people who are just having a fantastic day.
This is extraordinary. Not only have we built a steam locomotive that disappeared 40 years ago, we're travelling on a bit of railway that shut over 40 years ago and is still here. There must be a lot of people out there who want this to happen. Bit boring now, better go and build another one, haven't I?
It's seen as a minority interest. It was thrown out 4 decades ago. Yet steam has always had the power to inspire. As Tornado prepares for a future running mainline specials, perhaps some of these first-time passengers will be along for the ride. Maybe they'll grow up to have steam dreams of their own, because now they know it can be done.
For once, it is just fantastic to not to have to defend your interest, but actually to have people come up to you and say, I can't believe what you and your colleagues have done. That is just amazing.
And if you missed Time Shift's programme on the last days of steam last week here on BBC4, there's another chance to catch it here tomorrow at 7:30. Back to tonight, though, and a portrait of a guitar legend, Mr. Les Paul. Next.